And we have seen a couple of very small isolated showers popping up through the afternoon. I expect a lot of that activity will wind down this evening just in time for all the fireworks displays. So let's get right to the radar. And again, you have to look closely to see these showers because they have been pretty small. So we set everything in motion. You can see them a little better working their way in off the Atlantic from east to west. Have seen some heavier showers and even a few thunderstorms south of the Albemarle Sound. But again, just a couple of very small speckles of showers showing up on the radar. A little bit of a heavier shower here near the Pasquotank-Perquimans County line just west of Elizabeth City and down around Parksville. So again, look for an isolated shower or two in a couple of spots, but most of that activity again will wind down through the rest of the evening. Easterly winds will continue. So by 7 o'clock, low 80s, and by 9 o'clock, just before a lot of those fireworks displays, looking at temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Partly cloudy skies. It will be muggy though. It's still very humid outside. That'll be the case later tonight as well. Into tomorrow, once again, we'll look for those easterly winds, a chance of a shower, thunderstorm popping up. I think a little bit of a better chance as we go through the day tomorrow. Notice temperatures starting to climb a little bit more as well, likely topping out around 87, 88 degrees for your Thursday, and temperatures will climb even more on Friday, but that's also when we're tracking a cold front that will approach from the west. So we'll start the day with dry conditions on Friday. Temperatures in the 60s climbing into the upper 80s, and we'll top out in the low 90s, but we'll see those showers and thunderstorms really start to develop into the afternoon and evening. So if you have evening plans Friday night, we are looking at some wet weather, but eventually the front will clear the area, bringing some cooler weather for the weekend. We'll take you back to this morning, our Skyview camera. We had a lot of sunshine as we started the day. With those easterly winds, we saw some instability start to build and saw a few more of those clouds developing as we got into the afternoon. We saw one or two of those showers roll through. Again, they would come through, last about 5, 10, 15 minutes or so, and then move on. And now we're looking at the partly sunny skies. Temperature of 85 degrees, east-northeasterly winds at 13 miles per hour, but it is muggy. Humidity at 80%. The dew point is 78, so it is sticky. Feels more like the 90s outside. 89 in Currituck, 88, a trio of them from Surrey to Newport News up to Gloucester. It's 86 in Matthews and Hampton, 87 in Suffolk, and 81 in Elizabeth City. So for tonight, partly cloudy, muggy and warm, 75 degrees, and tomorrow 89. A shower, thunderstorm around in a few spots, partly sunny and humid. 76, partly cloudy tomorrow night, and temperatures climbing even more on Friday, 91, with those afternoon showers and thunderstorms developing. It will be hot, so those winds switch around towards the southwest. And then on Saturday, we're looking at a good chance of scattered showers. Mainly the first half of the day, they might linger into the afternoon. Temperature of only 80 degrees, and Sunday is just looking beautiful. 82, mostly sunny skies, low humidity. Temperatures do start to climb next week, but still looking at dry weather right through Wednesday. David?